Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I created this entire Indian wedding guest makeup look from 0 to 100. I especially have loved how my base has turned out for this one, so definitely watch out for that. And before we start, as always, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you do like it. If you don't already, please do follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of mini tutorials and tips and tricks and things like that on there that I am sure that you will love. So let's start. I'm starting with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer that I have recently bought and started to use, and honestly I am in love with it. I really like how it evens out my texture, especially kind of fills my pores in, and the way you want to use this is kind of use this in circular motions rather than just patting it into your skin. Circular motion ensures that the primer really gets into the pores and really smoothens out the texture very well. Next, I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty 4 Filter Foundation. Now, this foundation is full coverage and it's super matte, which is why I'm going to add in a few of the illuminating drops from Aqua Beauty. Now, I'm not a big fan of doing this every time, but just because I want this look to be extra glowy, I'm going to go ahead and mix these two in together. So I'm just mixing those together on my hand with my foundation brush. And I'm going to start to apply that all over my face and neck. You never want to forget your neck. So I'm just going to start to kind of buff that in with this brush. I love this brush. I just feel like it gives a super finish, plus it's honestly very quick, quicker than the beauty blender as well. Another thing I love about this brush, which by the way is the Morphe M439 brush, is that it uses really less product. As you can see, I took like 2 pumps and I have quite a lot of it left over on my hand still. So those drops definitely did help a little bit. I just feel like it's not going to make that much of a difference when I cover it up with concealer and powder and all of that. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, which is why I've never been a fan of doing it in the first place anyway. Next, I'm using the Born This Way concealer by Too Faced. And I'm just going to use that to conceal and brighten my under eyes. I'm also covering up this area right here just because it is super dark. I'm now also taking the Camo Concealer from e.l.f., which is a very light shade as compared to this one. And I'm going to use that to highlight the high points of my face. So that's all of this right here down the center of my face. And also going to apply some of it right here to highlight here as well. Next, I'm taking my beauty blender. This is the original beauty blender. It is damp. You want to make sure you blend out the concealer with the lightest pressure possible. You don't want to go beating your face because it's just going to end up absorbing most of the product away. And if you do need a lot of coverage on your under eyes, which I do need, then you need to make sure to use the lightest pressure possible. Otherwise, you're not going to get the coverage that you want. Even though it is damp, it is still a sponge and it is still going to absorb a lot of the product. So you want to make sure apply the lightest pressure possible. Now I do want to cream contour, but I don't want my under eyes to start creasing while I do that and blend that out. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of this powder on my brush and I'm just going to set it. And then I will bake everything together. But this is what is going to help with your concealer not creasing. Before you bake, always set. So now that I've just set my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Fenty matchsticks to cream contour. I'm going to contour all over the edges of my face, like so. Now if you have a smaller forehead, then by all means you don't need to do this. I do this because I have a very wide forehead, and from right about here I wanted to have the illusion of it falling back, which is why I'm doing this. And obviously do want to contour my cheekbones as well. And when I say the edge of my face, you literally want to cover the entire edge of your face to make it kind of look very seamless. Now I'm going to use a brush to kind of blend everything out, and you want to blend it out in circular motions and you want to take your time with it just because it does take a bit to get blended out and you don't want to end up looking super patchy, which is why you need to take your time with it. When you're blending out on your forehead, you want to make sure you blend it into your hairline as well, because if not, it's just going to look super awkward, super stark, and it's just not going to look as seamless as you want it to. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and bake my under eyes and all the areas of my face that I want to pop and that I want highlighted. I especially am loving using this banana powder to bake my under eyes just because I love the yellow tone of it. I just think it looks so beautiful on our medium skin tones, medium to olive skin tone. You basically want to bake everywhere that you want that additional glow, where you want the lightness of the color to set in. Once I'm done with baking, I'm going to let that sit for a while and I'm going to go ahead and bronze my face. Today I'm using the Vasanti Brazilian Tan Bronzer. As you can see, it is fresh out of the box. It is the first time that I'm using it and I'm super excited to try it. I just feel like it is a really good color that is not very red, because I feel like a lot of the bronzers that are out there for darker skin tones are really red for some reason, and that's why I'm really excited to try this one. So I'm using my Morphe M530 brush. Just gonna swirl it around in there and just oh yes, this is a really nice color. Brazilian tan. Woohoo! Finally, I think I found a good bronzer for myself. Oh, nice. I love it. So once again, you are setting a cream product with a powder and it's going to take some time to blend that out. So you want to make sure that you take your time to blend. For my nose, I'm using the Morphe E47. I just realized that every single brush that I'm reaching out for that I really like is from Morphe. I somehow never realized that before. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that bronzer and I'm going to start to kind of contour my nose. Just want to bring it down the side of the bridge of your nose and then blend it out towards your brow. It really helps to look directly into a mirror while you're doing this. If not, it's just going to go all over the place. And take a step back and just check if you're not going left or more right than you should be. Damn, that's a snatched nose. So now I'm just going to leave that there for some time. I'm not going to blend that out yet, but I do have to clean up this contour right here. So I'm going to take that baking powder once again and just literally bring some of it down here and trying to clean out that contour. We don't want it to be too stark because it's just going to look unnatural then. But even a little bit should go a long way in helping to clean that up. So I'm still going to let this powder sit for a bit, and in the meanwhile I'm going to do my brows and be right back. Okay, so I'm back with my brows all done. Moving on, I'm just going to blend all of this powder away now, and also going to kind of blend that nose contour in very lightly just so it doesn't look super stark. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and spritz my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, just because this is going to start to set my base and just blend all of those powders and cream products that we've used together. So now while I wait for my base to set, I'm going to go ahead and finish my eyes. Today we're not doing a very heavy look and we're using the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Starting with the shade Sandalwood, and I'm just going to apply that into my crease. I'm using a MAC 224 to do this, and I'm just using circular motions to kind of blend that into and a little above my crease. With whatever product I have left, I'm starting to kind of pull it out towards my brows right here, making sure to take it all the way to the inner corner as well. Next, I'm taking henna and I'm going to use that. I'm going to try and stay as low as possible with this shade in my crease. I don't want to go above my crease at all, and kind of concentrate it on the outer V of my eye. I am still going to kind of take it towards the inner corner with the least product that I have left on the brush, I am taking it to the inner corner, but mainly concentrating most of it on the outer part of my eye. And once again, when I have less product left on the brush, I'm going to kind of start to pull that out towards the end of my brow right here. Next, I'm taking the shade Cocoa on a more tapered blending brush, tapping off the excess always and just concentrating that product on the outer part of my eye. Don't want to take this in the crease at all, just on the outer V, and once again starting to pull that out once I have less product left on the brush. So now I'm taking the 24 karat gold eyeshadow. I already have it on one eye, and I'm just going to apply it on the inner corner, starting from the inner corner all the way to about there. And then taking the brush we applied the brown shadow with, just blending these two shadows in together. So now I'm going to use my NYX Epic eyeliner to create a winged eyeliner. I know I use this same eyeliner in every tutorial, but I really can't help it. It's just honestly the best eyeliner I have ever used, and I don't think I'm ever going back. Like, it's gonna take like a wonder product to get me off this eyeliner. So I'm sure you guys know I like my eyeliner super thick because I have really big eyes, but if you are doing this, you can adjust the thickness of the eyeliner as per what your eye size is, if that makes sense. Next, I'm going to apply these lashes from Kiss Lashes in the style Grandeur, and be right back. Okay, so I got my lashes on, and now I'm going to move on to doing the rest of my face, and that is blush and highlight only. So for my blush, I'm using this trio from Anastasia, and I'm kind of just like dipping into all three shades. I hope you heard that. I'm dipping into all three shades and then tapping off the excess and just applying that to the apples of my cheeks and kind of moving it upwards right here. Now, I like to apply more blush than I normally should, just because for some reason it just gets absorbed into my skin, or it just, I don't know, it can't absorb into my skin, but it just kind of disappears from my face. So I do tend to apply a little more than I normally should, and by the time I get ready and step out of the house, it's actually then looking normal. For my highlight, I'm using the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette in the Golden Sands edition, and I'm gonna mix these two right here, which is the gold and the Zanzibar, Seychelles and Zanzibar, which is a gold and a pinkish highlight. I'm gonna mix those two together to get a rose gold highlight and apply it to the high points of my face. So to apply my highlight, I like to use this tapered blending brush from Sigma. It is Eve 40, and I'm just going to kind of take both of these, more of the gold, tap off the excess and apply it to the high points of my face right there. So I like to kind of just blend out my highlight like so, which is basically going horizontal on my face, just because I like the highlight to move with my face and not just look like a big ass patch on it. Then I am gonna highlight. I'm gonna like kind of do that because I don't want to change brushes, and just highlight my brow bone as well. Also going to do the same thing and highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Doing the same thing right here, just highlighting horizontally on my cupid's bow and down my chin. I like to highlight down my chin rather than go like this, because then it makes my chin look really big. And also just pressing this down and highlighting the bridge of my nose as well. So now I'm just going to apply kajal all the way on my inner waterline. This is the Aqua XL pencil from Makeup Forever in the shade Black. Now I'm just taking cocoa, that dark brown shade cocoa, and just applying it to my lower lash line. And finally applying my Buxom Vava Plump lipstick in Wine Me. It is such a beautiful pink shade. And we're done, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I definitely hope you learned something from it. If you did, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.